heart of a busy colony lived a young artist named Meera. Her world was made of vibrant colors on canvas, and the silky, knee-length black hair that was her pride. But her heart held a secret, a deep love for her childhood best friend, Rahul, a love that would soon unravel, sparking a chain of events so dramatic, so devastating, that it would end in a shocking act of revenge. This is a story of heartbreak, humiliation, and a haircut that changed everything. One evening, her voice trembling with hope, Meera made a strange request. "You should start calling me Gaji." Rahul just laughed it off, thinking it was one of her quirky jokes. Months later, she tried again, her tone soft and sincere. "Please call me Gaji." This time he understood. His face fell. "Meera, I don't feel that way about you." His words were like a storm, shattering her world. He walked away, leaving her alone and broken. That night, staring at her reflection, her beautiful hair felt like a lie. In a fit of anger and pain, she did the unthinkable. She grabbed a pair of heavy fabric scissors from her art supplies. The cold metal felt foreign in her hand. She gathered a thick section of her hair, pulled it taut, and with a sharp crunch, the blades met. Snip. The first lock fell to the floor, lifeless. Snip after snip, the rhythm of her heartbreak echoed in the room. She cut savagely, unevenly, tears blurring her vision as years of growth fell away in jagged chunks around her feet. When she finally stopped, gasping, her hair stood in shocked, uneven angles around her face, barely reaching her shoulders. The floor was a carpet of black silk. The next morning, she confronted him. She threw the bundle of her cut hair at his feet and set it on fire. "This is what you did to me," she screamed. The flames roared briefly, burning bright and fast, leaving only ashes and a bitter silence. Trying to move on, Rahul joined coaching classes. There, he met Priya. She was smart, kind, and had a beautiful smile framed by waist-length wavy hair. They grew close quickly. When Meera saw them together, a toxic jealousy consumed her. She confronted Priya, warning her to stay away. "You know who I am," she threatened. "Just stay out of my way." When Rahul found out, he was furious. He went straight to Meera's mother, Mrs. Verma, and told her everything. Mrs. Verma was furious. She believed in harsh lessons. She handed Rahul a pair of sharp, steel barber's scissors. "Cut it, all of it." Meera cried and begged, but her mother was firm. Reluctantly, Rahul approached. He gathered a section of her already short hair. The cold steel of the scissors touched her neck, making her flinch. The sound of the blades closing, snip, was quiet and grim. He worked methodically, his hands shaking, cutting away the uneven strands until her hair was a short, boyish crop. Each snip was a whisper of their dying friendship, but it wasn't enough. Mrs. Verma then produced an electric clipper, its cord slithering like a snake. "Finish it," he protested, but Meera's mother insisted. "She needs to learn." With a heavy heart, Rahul plugged it in. His thumb found the switch. Click. The loud, angry buzz erupted, a vicious hum that vibrated through the very air, drowning out Meera's sobs. He hesitated, then brought the humming machine to her temple. The vibration was a violent shock against her skull. He pressed down. The teeth of the clipper caught, tugged, and then mowed a wide, brutal path right over the top of her head. A thick swath of dark hair peeled away from her scalp, collapsing onto her shoulders and the floor. Her head felt instantly, terrifyingly cold. He continued, his movements robotic, pushing the clipper from her forehead back to her crown, then over the sides, each pass stripping away more of her identity. The machine growled as it met her nape, leaving only pale, exposed skin in its wake. He went over her head again and again, until nothing remained but a shadow of stubble. The floor was now dusted with a fine, dark powder, all that was left of her hair. Humiliated and broken, she reached up. Her fingers met a landscape she didn't recognize, a rough, prickly surface, cold and alien. "You will stay like this until you learn respect," her mother said. But Meera didn't learn respect. She learned rage. Every time she touched the sandpaper texture of her scalp, she blamed Priya. "She did this to me," she whispered. The need for revenge burned inside her. A few nights later, filled with fury, Meera took the same clipper and went to Priya's house. When Priya opened the door, her eyes widened in fear when she saw Meera's bald head. Without a word, Meera pushed her way inside. "Sit down," she demanded, pulling out the clipper. "You ruined my life. Now I'll ruin yours." Priya begged and pleaded, her voice breaking with terror, but Meera was merciless. She turned on the clipper. The horrible, grating buzzz echoed in the quiet room, a sound Priya now knew meant utter violation. Meera didn't bother with scissors. She grabbed a fistful of Priya's beautiful wavy hair, yanked her head back, and forced the screaming clippers directly against her scalp at the hairline. Priya's scream was choked as the machine devoured her hair. The blades chewed through the thick waves, spitting out tangled clumps. Meera worked with brutal efficiency, moving the clipper in rough, overlapping passes, not caring for evenness, only destruction. Long, beautiful strands were sucked into the mechanism and shredded before falling to the floor. Within minutes, Priya's head was crisscrossed with uneven tracks of bare skin and hacked-off hair. Meera finally switched it off. The sudden silence was deafening. She roughly ran the clipper over the last few patches, leaving Priya's head completely, brutally shorn. Priya sat there, trembling in complete shock, her hands slowly rising to touch the shocking smoothness, the cruel, cold reality of her bald head. Meera looked down at her with cold, empty eyes. "Now you know how it feels." Then she turned, walked out, and disappeared into the night, leaving Priya alone